I had to stop for a moment and make clear why I want to say this. So now I know, and we can start recording. Therefore, attachments often do happen from people who are here to help us. Therefore, healer, therapist, doctor, carer, best friends, those can be actually very, very damaging because they go deep, right? Because we are open. So you go to, let's say, healer. Now it's very popular. Everybody is coaching, everybody is healing. People make Reiki course, which takes like 10 minutes, and they go and start doing healing, where most of us were not really fully healed, and therefore side effects are everywhere. Of course, there can be lower side effects linked with how far that person is healed. However, that would also mean that that person is much more skilled to take you what they want. And this may sound as a science fiction, but people can take you joy for life. I used to have a friend with whom, when I would call, hi, after I would hang up the phone, my mojo for, let's say, project which I would talk about would be gone. Literally gone. Like I can just go sit down and do something else, because her lack of mojo for life, because she didn't feel purpose in her life, doesn't mean it was obvious on her. Nobody would tell because she was living a quite successful life, but she didn't feel mojo. Therefore, she would steal it. And that means when you have courts with people who are actually not looking that they would do you harm, they do. Because mojo for life, mojo for progress, mojo for more in life is a big, big deal. That is what separates you from depressed person, from anxious person, from scared person, from lazy person. And therefore, this brings us to healers and different types of helpful positions and jobs. In my life, I'm a very open person. I'm an experimentator and I progress. But that meant that I got really sucked by people who I would never expect it. I mean, never. And it is still happening that I connect with people who are progressive, they groove, they materialize, they really do a lot of good. But when I would look at my field, I will see court. And now, let's say if we want to be very optimistic, there is exchange happening, so it is good for everybody. But I don't believe in chords, right? But if in theory I would, how this chord would look? I would see a line between us, and that line would be light, right? There would be just light energy, and it would have a beautiful flow. That is exchange. However, there is line where around me would be lower frequency of energy between me and between where the light chord starts. And that means that person is using my field as a catalyst. So that person is pouring whatever is slowing them down out, and they are pulling essence of light, essence of manifestation, your powerful juice. So obviously everything is happening for a reason, right? We see what we see, we sense what we sense. Now, why do I record this? That was my question before I started. I record it for us all to consider it, to consider how do we feel on our own, what we can do really to be free from all those attachments which are really one-sided progress and keeping us more or less in the same spot. Like what's the message? Okay, now I'm asking more for a message of, okay, like why this would be happening. Oh, okay. So it is happening because we still have parts in us which search in others, which search for, let's say, navigation. One thing is to search for navigation. Another is searching for inspiration for a mind, let's say. Inspiration for growing self-knowledge. For clearing more what is my purpose, what is my ideal being, what is my ideal way of making living. That comes from self-knowledge, and that is very, very linked with chords, which affects us, which limits us. Or let's say there is 5% for you, 95% for others. It's not a good business for you, right? However, sometimes you need those 5% and you are willing to lose 95. So if you are in control of it, that's how progress often happens, right? A small story to back up that. If you are doing PhD, you are the one who is actually doing the job, but your supervisor is the name of whatever you invent in that process. It's him and you are there, right? Well, he really didn't do it, you did it. So this is the same. However, you are aware of, oh, this is how it will be. Like whatever you invent, well, too bad. Your supervisor has a name, and then university owns whatever you invent because you are studying under them. This is the same, right? you may use something, that juice which you get, but you may be losing a lot. So you have to be willing to get the knowledge, get whatever you can gain from the connection as fast as possible, and then dismantle it. Wow, this was good. This was a good message. So, and again, I'm saying it because this happened to me with the sparkliest people I have ever met. Like there was somebody attaching to my heart who I met when I was 23. Now I am 49, 48. 48, still 48. And that person is still trying to get into attachment with my heart. Why? Because there is a very good pure juice. So if you have good pure juice, whatever is your thing, because everybody has something, you can be very bright and people go and they try to steal some of your juice, right? Then you can be very good with expression, creativity, coming thoughts, coming projections. And people, subconsciously or consciously, there are both, carefully approach. If it is your heart, if you have big heart, if you have really pure juice, that is something that connects you directly to God. About that I will tell you another time, how big time it saved my ass many times, because as I said, I'm an experimenter, and I also did exorcism in the past, which again I do not recommend anybody. However, my big heart saved my ass, because through that juicing heart, you are able to, even when you go into big doo-doo, if you overstep, if you have big eyes that you don't see how dangerous something can be, and there are dangerous things in this world, obviously, as they are very beautiful things. It's about where we go, what we choose for ourselves. Therefore, your energy of your heart is the most precious thing, because that is what keeps you and what gives you back, or what helps you to jump back. Like when you have heavy times, some people go into depression and they stay there, year, 2, 5. If you have strong heart, you go there, and then power of your heart pulls you back. So every time you go to therapist, healer, doctor, surgery, whatever is your thing right now, this video find for a purpose, and I am certainly recording it for a purpose. I never was so open in my recordings. You always create powerful bubble aligned with highest God, highest power, highest light, whatever you believe, whatever is your thing, with highest psychic protections, bubbles. It's wisdom, intelligence, not a fear. You create it, and you always state only what is for my highest good and safety and security, for my best version of self. Only that can have effect on me. Otherwise, it will just wash over me. So let's progress and let's walk smart.